Қазіргі сабақты бастамас бұрын сілтемедегі слайдты ашып алыңыз.
Redundancy. Okay. What is redundancy? Redundancy is words that essentially repeat or unnecessarily define previous words. For example, example 1 and 2, let's look at them. Our problem is that we're too self-aware of ourselves. Okay, here self and ourself have the same meaning, and if you use them together, it will be redundancy. It's grammatically correct, but the meaning is redundant because they're repeated unnecessarily. So the correct sentence will be, our problem is that we are too self-aware, or our problem is that we are too aware of ourselves. Okay? Example number 2. I once believed and had faith in the power of love. Okay. I once believed and had faith. They have the same meaning. It means to believe. And to use both of them in one sentence makes the sentence redundant. That's why we should take away one of them. I once believed in the power of love, or I once had faith in the power of love. What else are redundancy? Redundancy are inflated and useless phrases that could be omitted or condensed into fewer words. Like there are some words, but you can just use only one word to describe all of them. Okay? Example 3 and 4. Let's look at them. Example 3. Joy bought a super-sized hamburger due to the fact that he was really hungry. Okay. Here, due to the fact that he was, so it makes this sentence redundant. We can just say, Joy bought a super-sized hamburger because he was really hungry. Example number 4. The legal documents were reviewed in a way that was deemed true. Okay. In a way that was deemed thorough, redundant, right? You can just say thoroughly instead of them. The legal documents were reviewed thoroughly. And that's all. Now the sentence isn't redundant. Now let's look at other examples. Here, number 5. The reasons why red pandas have ringed tails is because they are relatives of both the giant panda and the raccoon. Okay. Is because they are, yeah, this sentence is redundant because here the reason and because they have the same meaning. We should take only one of them. Red pandas have ringed tails because they are relatives of both the giant panda and the raccoon. It may be correct. Or the reason red pandas have ringed tails is that they are relatives of both the giant panda and the raccoon. Next, example number 6. After hearing the spy's information, the general knew that an attack was imminent in the future. Actually, the word imminent is already telling about as a future. Like, you can translate this word if you don't know. That's why the word in the future is not needed. It's unnecessary and making the sentence redundant. In order to correct it, we can just say, after hearing the spy's information, the general knew that an attack was imminent. That is all. Yeah, because imminent by definition means in the future. Example number 7. It is only one night before the test that I wish my notes had been more clear. Okay, more clearer. You know, it's comparative and superlative that we cannot say more clear. It's redundant. We can say more clear or clearer. Okay, just one of them. Example number 8. It's wrong to say that the last to sing, Jason and Jess, made sure to amaze the crowd with a full range of vocals at the end of the performance. Here, at the end, or with a full range of vocals. Actually, you should leave only to the last to sing or at the end, because these two words have the same meaning. Okay, you can say the last to sing, Jason and Jess made sure to amaze the crowd with a full range of vocals, or you can just say Jason and Jess made sure to analyze the crowd with a full range of vocals at the end of the performance. Okay. Example number 10. The Black Friday deals attracted hordes of shoppers. These shoppers rampaged through the doors as the stores opened. Okay, now, this part makes the sentence redundant. We can just say, the Black Friday deals attracted hordes of shoppers who rampaged through the doors as the stores opened, and that is all. Next, example number 11. The commander's charge into the opposing army was fearless, an act of bravery. Look here. Fearless and an act of bravery, actually they mean the same thing. There is no need to use both of them. You can just say the commander's charge into the opposing army was fearless, or the commander's charge into the opposing was an act of bravery. That's all. Okay. Example number 12. Generic drugs are usually cheaper than when buying name brand ones. Okay. When buying name, that is redundant. You can just say generic drugs are usually cheaper than brand ones. Or you can say generic drugs are usually cheaper than buying new ones. Okay. Now let's walk through the exercise and correct the redundancy here. First, in your biography about your life, she writes about overcoming poverty and fear. Okay. I think that we know biography, it's about life of the person, right? That's why we should just take away this about your life, this fragment. We can just say, in your biography, she writes about overcoming poverty and fear. That is all. Next, during high school, I sang in a trio that consists of 3 people. Okay, I think that you already know the trio consists of 3 people. That's why this sentence is redundant. You can just say, during high school, I sang in a trio. That's all. Next, scratching the rash made it worse than before. We can just, worse. We cannot use 2 of them together. You can just say, scratching the rash made it worse than before. That's all. Next, number 4. The reason why most people give up on New Year's resolution is because they are too accustomed to old habits. Again, the reason, and because they have the same meaning, they cannot be used together in one sentence. Okay, you should just left the reason or because. You can say, the reason why most people give up on New Year's resolution is they are too accustomed to old habits, or you can just say most people give up on New Year's resolution is because they are too accustomed to old habits. Number 5. The plagiarist who copied the works of others was banned indefinitely from the journalism industry. We already know that plagiarism is copying the works of other people. Like, we don't need extra definition for this. That's why we can just say the plagiarist was banned indefinitely from the journalism industry. That's all. Okay. Number 6. There is a good chance that an earthquake has a possibility of happening within the next week. A good chance and possibility means the same. You can just say there's a good chance that an earthquake happens within the next few weeks, or the earthquake has a possibility of happening within the next few weeks. Within the next week. Number 7. After her graduation speech, Zoo was thirsty and needed to drink something. Needed to drink something, it's a definition of the word thirsty. That's why we should just leave only one of them. We can say, after her graduation speech, Zoo needed to drink something, or after her graduation speech, Zoo was thirsty. That's all. Number 8. Because James was an optimist with a positive outlook in life, he faced his struggles with a smile on his face. Positive outlook in life is already a definition of the word optimist. That's why you don't need it. You can just say, because James was an optimist, he faced his struggles with a smile on his face. Or because James has a positive outlook on life, he faced his struggles with a smile on his face. Okay, next, number 9. Seafood restaurants are becoming less and less expensive due to the abundance and oversupply of fish. Okay, here abundance and oversupply means the same. Just take away one of them. Seafood restaurants are becoming less expensive due to the oversupply of fish. Number 10. Your verbal statements in your conversation with me led me to believe that she was holding something from me. Okay, in your conversation with me led me to believe. It's very redundant, right? You can just say, her statement in your conversation led me to believe that she was holding something from me. That's all. Or your verbal statements with me led me to believe, and like this. Okay. Next, number 11. The sisters reunited at the house where they grew up as siblings upon their father's death. Okay. Siblings and sisters, they are the same meaning. That's why we can just see the sisters reunited at the house where they grew up upon their father's death. That's all. Number 12. Building his own motorcycle, which would belong to him, Quentin looked forward to the day when he would be old enough to drive. Okay, look here. Own and belong to him, the same meaning. Just take away one of them, remove. You can say building his own motorcycle. Quentin looked forward to the day when he would be old enough to drive it. So now our parts will be your homework. I think you enjoyed the lesson.
Все,